Hey everybody, it's Randy with Carchaeology. And I know in my last video I said I was going to take a little break over the holidays here to spend time with family, which I'm certainly doing. But opportunity sometimes presents itself at the most inopportune time. And the only way to grab a deal is to get out of your chair and make it happen. So that's what I did this week. So follow along on this video and see the most recent acquisition for the Carchaeology collection.
As a car guy, my eyes are always open for an interesting old car. And this 72 Buick Riviera is one that I've spotted around town for years. Always with the sweetest old couple behind the wheel. Just one of those time warp images that, well, it just gets you all excited. When this Facebook ad popped up this week for the car, I knew it was the same one. And here in the description, it's being sold by the granddaughter that inherited the car. I knew in a second it was the exact same car. The photos looked fantastic. I inquired. I shared with them the story of how I was always excited to see the car on the road and that I would love to be the next owner. And sure enough, I was the first one in the door to get a chance to go check it out. And this was an opportunity I certainly wasn't going to pass up. So it had been inherited by the granddaughter, but here's the grandmother there. Her husband had passed away recently. It was a little bit emotional for her to see it go away on the trailer, but she could tell that it was a car that I was truly interested in. And showing her photos of it from back in the day, driving down the road, it always brought a smile into my face, and I promised her a very good home for the car. So once back at the lab and off the trailer, here's a good little walk around to see the overall condition of it. And it's really in nice shape. I mean, you can see it's a bit dirty, but you can still see some shine through the paint. There are some chips and scratches on it here and there. But overall, it looks like a really nice survivor car. So I've got the battery charger up on it. We're going to charge that battery overnight, see if perhaps it will crank over and fire in the morning. And in any case, fun little history. Here's Cal State University Long Beach parking permits from the 80s. Apparently they had owned the car for many, many years, and that he had bought it from his brother, who had owned it for many years prior to that. So it might be a car that was in the same family since new. Unfortunately, they weren't able to document that for me. All the details and stuff of it, unfortunately, have gone along with the lady's husband and her brother-in-law. But it's a well-equipped car. It shows like 5,000 miles on the odometer, which is, I'm sure, been turned over. All green interior. It's got AM/FM 8-track in it. The cloth seats are a bit dirty, but it looks like they'll clean up. And in any case, back at the lab, ready for me to attack it the next morning. So that evening, of course, I went down the rabbit hole of searching out the history of the Buick Riviera. I've always loved that bow-tail design, and it was fun to hear the story of Bill Mitchell, who was the head of design at that time, and the influences that went into it. That Delahaye with the sweeping side window, the Corvette obviously is related to it, interior design, so on and so forth. Really fantastic car that unfortunately was not very well received when it first came out. It was a bit crazy. But in any case, it was fun to go down and look at the history during the evening. It might be interesting to do another video on that. But here we are the next morning, doing a little walk around, looking at the treasure that I brought home, and getting ready for that first bath. I always love the first bath of a new car. It gives me a chance to really go all the way around it, learn all the good and the bad, and to really kind of unwrap that present that lies within. Starting with wheels, cleaning up those Buick Rally wheels. Definitely looking a lot better there. Get all of that brake dust and nasty stuff off of there. It is a disc brake car in the front. Scrub those white wall tires and so on and so forth. I started with that driver's side front wheel because it was probably the gnarliest looking piece on the whole car. Now let's dive into the rest of it. Now, fortunately, the car was fairly well stored. It did sit outside, but in a carport, so the sun didn't get to it too bad, but it did get awful dusty, as you can see. That vinyl top was replaced at some point. It does look like the car was repainted at one point as well. Looking at the data tags on it, it was actually a darker green when it was new with a black vinyl top, and it was painted this lighter green with the white vinyl top at some point. And overall, the paint is aging a bit. There's some chips and scratches. There is some cracking and stuff like that. But as you will see, as the process comes together here, it's a pretty presentable car. So here it is dripping wet. They always look amazing when they're dripping wet. But I'm really excited to hopefully buff it up so that it stays this shiny. But so far, so good. So here you can see kind of a before and an after with the first pass of some polish. Definitely going to see some shine back in this paint. Nice difference here between the dullness here and that shiny stuff there. Same with the chrome. Chrome was really grungy, but it looks like it's going to clean up all right. There is some pitting and some fading to it, but overall, I think it's going to be a pretty presentable thing. A car that I will definitely keep as is, probably not restore. I may do some touch-up here and there, replace the center cap that's missing from the wheel, some little stuff like that. But wow, what a ride. The interior is a little grungy. I'm going to go after that with some cleaners, see if I can get down to it. I've got to be a little careful because it does look like the material is starting to come apart a little bit. So when it comes to the scrubbing and that sort of thing, I've got to be a little cautious with that. But I think it's going to come out pretty nice. It might be fun to even cover those seats with some of those cool plastic seat covers. Anyway, here comes Garrett. We'll see what he thinks of the car. He saw it last night when it was dirty.
All right, I've been like waiting. I like want to start this fucking thing. So I've been polishing though.
Feel outstanding.
Getting there. I've done like this side and started cleaning on the inside.
Wow.
But it's getting shiny. Even scrubbed the seat there. It was all kind of stained and it looks like it cleaned up pretty good. And I did turn the key so the engine turns, so I know the battery's up.
Right.
But I haven't like tried to start it, so we should do that and see if it goes. Now the pink valve covers, there's no explanation for. I don't know what's up with that, but we shall see. Maybe it means it's fast.
Oh, it's gotta go.
High performance, because high performance things are pink. All right, I'm going to turn the key, and we shall see if it goes. That was easy. Sounds like a loose lifter or something like that to me. Got a little tick.
Go ahead and rev it up just a little bit. Go ahead and shut it off. I mean, we can maybe check and see if there's oil in it or something like that. But,
I'll check the quality of it at least.
well, I'm sure it's got something in it, but we'll open it up and see.
Try not to destroy these rubber cork. There we go.
All right. Huh. Yeah, I mean, nothing seems to be broken in there. We could crank it up and make a little bit of a mess and see what it does. Shut it off. That safety all looks fine in there. Oil squirting where it needs to squirt. And life is good. It's definitely quieted down, so maybe just pump the oil through it helped it. That sounds yummy. Alright, we got all the fluids up, power steering fluid in there, transmission fluid. Sounds like it's running pretty fine. Steers nice and easy. Love it. Not a whole lot of gas in this thing, and we are in the middle of nowhere, so that might be an issue. Fasten seat belts. Coming about, Captain. Oh, geez, this thing is huge. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. We have brakes, yeah. Floats like a buffalo, stings like a bee, I guess. Awesome. Wow, what a yacht. Oh, this thing's going to be really fun. Oh, man. Heck yeah. Love that. my way, bud. Going my way. Oh, it's in reverse. Shit. Garrett, park would be a great idea. Holy shit. Alive. Now I just need to finish up with some detailing, perhaps change some fluids and stuff. I don't know when's the last time this thing was serviced, but it was certainly a pretty easy thing to fire up. I didn't expect it to be anything but. Obviously it had been driven pretty much daily by this old guy up until at least sometime last year, which was the last time that I saw it on the road. So anyway, fantastic automobile. Gonna spin it in the other way and get polishing on the other side. So after a pass with the clay bar and a little bit of polish, this thing is really coming out quite nice. Now, it's going to take several passes to really get it perfect. There's certainly some touch-up to do and so on and so forth, but considering that I just picked this thing up yesterday and now it is up and running and actually looking pretty decent, I feel extraordinarily fortunate to have it here. Now, my dad had a 71 Riviera back when I was a kid. In fact, it was the first car that I ever drove over 100 miles an hour. So getting back into this car and going for a little spin, it definitely fueled up the memory banks big time. So cool car. It's going to be fun to take this car to the next level and really start to enjoy it. But nice transformation. Super happy.
So there you have it. The 72 Buick Riviera that got me out of my holiday chair. Now I'm going to go back on the couch. I've worn myself out polishing this thing. I've had a nice little drive in it. I might come out and tinker with it a little bit over the holidays, but it's time to rest and relax. It's been an amazing year. I thank you all for watching. Please follow along. If you don't, subscribe, like, share, etc., and then follow all the past shows on the SpeedTube TV channel as well. Again, keep on digging them up and driving them. Treasure is out there everywhere. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.